Alright everyone, sorry for the delay in videos. Been trying to get this done and I've been doing a lot of housework. So this will be an overall view of what I did this year. I've got the 360mm rotors, the big brakes from an AMG, and I use G2 caliper paint to get the awesome Richard Petty blue paint on there just to stand out, be a little different. I didn't want to go with red, white, black, or any other typical colors, and I like that color blue, so I picked it. I've got the headlight vents for turbo inlet. I couldn't run a filter on these turbos. They're twin Borg S200 turbos. There's just no room, as you can see, especially this side. But that should feed them plenty of air. And then I have twin tile wastegates, 38mm. They both vent out of the hood because there's no room to plumb that back into the exhaust, as you can see. I had to do custom turbo manifolds. I used Schedule 40 pipe, which might have been overkill, but I know it's not going to overheat and warp. I went with a short belt. I deleted the AC pulley and the power steering pulley. One of the reasons I need to make sure the brakes are bled all the way is because I had to add extensions to the brake lines all the way around to relocate the ABS module to under here. It's under this fender right before the wheel well. See if I can show you guys where it's at. Yeah, that's the bottom of it right there, and it sits right above it. I also have this aftermarket oil cooler, so I could have the air-to-air intercooler. I went air-to-air because the water-to-air was awesome for like 30 minutes, and then it would overheat. I shouldn't say overheat. It would heat up enough where it took forever to cool it down. You were kind of stuck at whatever temperature that coolant was at, no matter what. And I even had the upgraded heat exchanger and an auxiliary tank, and it still, once the water got hot, it was really hard to cool off. At least with this, the ambient temps around where I live don't get too hot, like 90. And in case I'm stuck in traffic, and I don't really trust air-to-air when you're stuck in traffic, obviously, I've got two 11-inch electric fans. The stock fan that's over there bit the dust, so I went with these coolers. They flow about 4,000 CFM, and they're controlled electronically by this module from Davies Craig, and it is pretty awesome. It uses a radiator probe to get the temperature, so I have this set at 15 degrees below when the thermostat opens, because from what I could find online, it seems to be the difference between the probe temperature in the fins and the actual water temperature inside the radiator. Yeah, intercooler piping. Had to cut a lot of this headlight out to get that to fit. I do have twin HKS SSQV4 authentic blow-off valves, no knockoffs. I relocated the coolant reservoir to the back of the engine bay, where I don't remember what was back there. I think AC, maybe? Oh yeah, that's gone too. I think that's about it for under the hood. Oh, I have a Turbo Smart eBoost 2 controller, which is awesome. I believe that should work way better than what I was trying to do before, and I don't have to change springs. I'm running 7 pounds, so I should be able to efficiently run 14 pounds, and if I do go to make big boost, I will have to change the springs and put probably 10 pounders in so I can run about 18 pounds. That's pretty much all I want to run. I'm a bit nervous to run over that. Probably could handle 20, but I'm not going to blow it up yet. So maybe someday. I have my NRG seats and harnesses. I had to make custom seat brackets. The driver's side is a slider. The passenger side is you're strapped in right there. You don't get to move. The interior is completely gutted, except for the carpet under the, like, where your feet are, because there's a lot of electronics I wanted to protect that are under there. I've got a custom steering wheel from NRG, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. There's my gauges. So I went from 8 gauges to 3. I've got my eBoost 2 boost controller. I've got my wideband air fuel ratio gauge, and I've got my intake temperature. And that's directly on the intercooler piping right before the throttle body. Custom center console I just roughly fabbed up. It's not perfect, it's just aluminum, but it holds my stereo. We've got the oil fan, which will work anytime, and I've got my radar detector. I think what else? Oh yeah, I don't have a trunk yet. Full trunk floor. As you remember, this is where the rear mount turbo sat, so I had to make some new braces for a floor. I also used them to hang the exhaust. I think I'm going to use like a thick plastic across here. I thought about plexi, but it gets too dirty and it gets stained yellow. Because yeah, it needs to support a 10-inch sub. I'm going to center back here just for weight, and I like bass. I've got quad tips, full 3-inch exhaust all the way to the turbos. I had to do all that because there's no way anyone would make that cheaply. Pretty much did all this. My buddy Caprice96 on YouTube, he helped me weld the turbo manifolds that was scheduled for you. My little MIG couldn't handle that. But I think that's about it. I got step holder plugs, shorter gap, and I think that's all. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll be putting some montages together. I'm sure once I know this thing can stop and come to a complete stop with these brakes and those lines are tested, then I can start having some fun. I'll do 0 to 60s, 60 to 160s, etc. Thank you for all the help. I'd like to thank these sponsors because they helped me tremendously. Yeah, so that's it for me. I'm going to bed. Be working on this tomorrow. I appreciate it, and look forward to posting more videos for you guys.